You may have seen her as you're flipping through the channels on WBNA TV 21 or cable channel 916, hosting the local-based reality TV show Dream Funders, where local entrepreneurs come to pitch their business ideas to local investors in hopes of raising capital in exchange for a percentage of their business. Melissa Fraser's lives every aspect of her firm's mission statement, which is, we help entrepreneurial businesses grow at every stage, every day. She is a published author of Welcome to Planet Youth, a strategic planning book geared to aspiring entrepreneurs and early-stage companies on how to use her one-page planning system to build a business to support the life they want or to accomplish personal goals. She is the co-founder, co-producer, and host of the Dream Funders TV program, where she connects startups and mid-stage companies to the global investment community. And most recently, she is a graduate of Vistage Chair Academy, launching her first CEO Peer Advisory Board this January, where 18 hyper-growth market-leading CEOs will meet monthly to strategize on how to take their later-stage businesses to the next level. I am honored to introduce Melissa, as she is an inspirational business leader, a beautiful individual with boundless faith, and someone I could call a dear and caring friend. Please welcome Melissa Fraser, CEO of Breakout Business and partner and business consulting practice leader at Struckman & Company, CPA and advisory firm.
In downtown Louisville. Welcome to Dream Funders, the show that hopes to match big ideas with big bucks.
Come on, we gotta see this, right?
I'm Melissa Fraser with our esteemed panel of investors that we like to call funders.
Others?
All right, I'm here today seeking $150,000.
Next, hard cash. My name is Tom Kutschke, designer of the patent pending bourbon barrel toothpick.
I know how these things are sold all over the world.
I think you can maybe identify those little niche pieces of your business that could really make this thing special.
I will sure be a customer.
$15,000 in exchange for 20% of my business.
Do this, the strapping, and then it just allows you to work safely.
How long have you been working on this idea?
I've been working on it for about the last year in development.
And it sounds like we've got a success story.
Thank you.
Today I'm here to pitch you a product idea called the Shower Sitter. It is a shower chair for babies.
I think that we can help you.
I think you're onto something.
It's another proposal. When I do something, I want to do it all the way.
Because I want this brand to be synonymous with empowerment, helping others.
I think it's a great idea.
We are phone shopping. Because this is an ever-present problem in our society. We are the premier solution.
Looks like it's working.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Sounds like you have an offer here to help you get this thing off the ground. What do you say to that?
Say thank you, God. Thank you.
Will the next big thing be born in Louisville? We hope so. Dream Funders, where we match the dreamers and the funders.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? How many of you have seen the show? Has anybody seen the show? Please raise your hands. Okay, very good. Thank you. And that is actually the sizzle reel from the first season, and I'm going to talk about that. There's a reason that I showed that. Man, they are singing back there. First of all, though, I want to thank Ingrid. Ingrid, if you don't know Ingrid, you need to know Ingrid. She's got an amazing story. She's an amazing woman, and she's one of the reasons that I'm doing the things that I do. It's people like Ingrid and their stories that have inspired me throughout the years. And so thank you, and thank you, President Alice. Thank you, Rotarians, for having me here today. I'm truly honored to be here. I want to talk about the show, but the first, Louisville, Kentucky is the entrepreneur city. I mean, if you can't get it done in Louisville, Kentucky, then it's probably just a bad idea. I mean, I seriously, fully believe that. and the accessibility of the people that you need to get to know to get things done is just unparalleled. And I'm a testimony to that. I'm a believer and thankful so much for this city. And I also want to say I love your slogan, Connect for Good. I don't know if that's new or not, but I thought it was really catchy, and it just goes along with that. I mean, if you're going to build dreams, you really have to do it through connecting and through networking, and that's really what it's all about. So this show, Dream Funders, you know, where in the world does that come from? And you know, how do I, the CPA, who was the chief operating officer, and I say was, I'm still with Strothman and Company, but I have stepped out of the role now, chief operating officer. But how does that happen that I'm, you know, hosting a TV show? And I want to talk to you about that because it really came from my firm. I mean, our firm. The tagline for our firm is, we help entrepreneurial businesses grow at every stage, every day. And that came from a branding initiative that we went through, and my managing partner was right here, Bill Meyer. Thank you for being here, Bill. What was that, like 5 years ago or something like that? And really, you know, our firm had grown so fast that we finally looked at each other and said, who are we? You know, let's regroup and figure out who it is that we are, and let's get this messaging tighter. And all of our partners came up with this in separate meetings, that we really are still the firm that is passionate about helping that entrepreneur. But when you put out a message like that, you know, at every stage, every day, that's, you gotta live that message, right? And when you're a firm as large as we are, sometimes that can be difficult to be able to do that, because it's hard to reach people who just want to get into business. And it's hard to reach people that are in startups, and you just can't do it all. And so I'm grateful that the firm that I am partner in is run by people that have an entrepreneurial mindset, because when I come to them with goofy ideas, they don't look at me and say, no, you're not, you know, don't do that. They just kind of look and they kind of listen, and they're like, okay, you think we can, okay, let's do it. You know, they're very, very supportive of anything if people come to them and they're willing to execute. So just a great, great firm to be affiliated with. So I write the Kool-Aid, okay? We help entrepreneurs grow, you know, every stage, every day. Why does that matter to me? And if you want to put the next slide up, I'll tell you why it matters to me. This was my baby run at entrepreneurship. This was my first business. And, you know, they say, go big or go home, right? We should have gone home. Colossal failure. Absolutely the most wonderful experience of my life at the beginning of the journey. I mean, I remember the complete and utter joy of getting the bank to say yes when I'm pregnant out to here, you know, like getting ready to deliver my fourth child with this business plan for this business. And I remember the joy of just picking the rides out that we had imported from Italy, and picking the carpet and all of the colors, and learning AutoCAD. I actually taught myself that, to lay out the restaurant and the design, you know, the food, just all of it. It was so much fun. It was so exciting to be an entrepreneur and to build this business. And I also remember, probably even better, how bad it felt to be backed up against the wall and to have absolutely nowhere to go and no one to turn to and no knowledge of where do you go when you can't keep your doors open, or you're worried that you can't pay your people, you just need capital. You know, I remember that, and I remember how bad it felt when we sold that sucker for parts. I mean, it was horrible. It was like a complete and utter death for me. And I don't want anyone to ever go through something like that, because it's completely unnecessary, especially in this city. And so I did drink the Kool-Aid, you know, I really do want to help entrepreneurs just like our firm does. And so there were three ways or three legs that I felt like I could personally get involved and do that. And the first one was I wrote this book. This book, Welcome to Planet Do, which is a strategic planning book, and it really helps people before that are early stage businesses that want to get into business, or maybe they need a career change, It was just really designed, you know, to help them figure out what they're good at and give them a one-page planning system to get that done and to accomplish crazy, crazy goals. And, you know, when we got into this business, there were 4 things I didn't have. The first thing that I didn't have was I didn't have a good solid why. I didn't have a good why or where we get in that business. It was, okay, I'm child number 4. We're going to all these fun centers that are dirty and the food is horrible and I don't want to be in them. So hey, we can do it better. You know, that's not a really good why. You need a good why because when it gets really hard, you know, the why is what sustains you in the business, right? So we didn't have that. I didn't have a network. I didn't understand networking like this. I didn't think I had time for it. And so I didn't have people that would push back at me and say, hey, that's probably not a good idea. Or, hey, you know, you probably don't need all that shiny new equipment. Maybe you could buy some used stuff. I didn't know about all the resources in Louisville, the free available resources that we have here that are amazing. And what's the 4th thing? I can't remember, but I know it's here. Oh, I know what it is. This is where it ties into the show. I didn't know the investor community. You know, I had no idea where to go. I had no idea who, if anybody in this city would even care or what, you know, I thought my only option was to sell that business. And I would have never known how to pitch, ever. I wouldn't have known how to do that. So that was one of the reasons that I wrote the book. And then whenever, you know, we got into the next phase of this, which was, okay, now people are in business. So, you know, hopefully we've got them in business they want to be in, but now they're in business. And when you get into business, you have times when you want to grow and you need capital, right? And so using this one-page, I run my life on this one-page strategic plan. And using that, I actually had on my 2015 strategic plan, which this is my life plan, and it's right here, and it's highlighted to prove that this is true. And I discussed this with Bill before we ever did this, but it says, meet with Tom Fawbush at WBNA TV 21 to discuss putting on a show in Louisville to highlight entrepreneurship and to help people understand and see what the resources here are in the city. And so that was dated February 28th of 2015. And this is the press release from season 1. We aired February 10th of 2016. So in under 1 year, we had this sucker on the air, didn't we, Tom? Now, what you just saw was, you know, that was a joint effort between people who really cared and who that message resonated with. I went to Tom, this is the general manager of WBNA TV 21, Tom's my guest here today, and he heard that and he said, some of the things that I wanted to do, he said, well, you know, we've got this show we want to do, and why don't you come and help us with that? And this show was way more complex than anything I ever thought that we would do. And I still can't even believe we got it on the air in a year. But, you know, it's a lot of moving parts. These aren't paid actors. You've got people coming on pitching their businesses, and then you've got to get the funders and the venue and all of that. So it was very, very exciting. And then my firm, who supported me fully in that and said, hey, you know, go for it. You know, if you think you can pull that off, that's great. We're all about it. And B&B Productions, who actually, I don't know if you've seen Secrets of Little Chef, and they do a lot of local programming, and they actually produce the show with us as well. So they were like, okay, let's all, I mean, there was no budget. We had no budget. We just did it. We just put it together. And so I had a lot of really bright blush on and that. And, you know, I mean, I knew nothing about TV. So I didn't know TV makeup was different than regular makeup. And my voice is way up here. Welcome to the Fraser History Museum. There was so much learning that had to be done. And believe me, I'm not there yet, but it's been a lot of fun. And the show, you know, the purpose of it really has morphed into so much more than to get people funded, which is initially what it was. It's really to educate the community on what is a fundable business, what are investors looking for in a business, who are these people in Louisville that want to invest in them, and then also how do you do a pitch. And so it's changed a lot. So could we go ahead and roll that next clip? This is time for another edition of Drink Butter, delivered by Papa John. This time, a father and son have an idea that mixes a high-tech trend with old-school backpacks.
We are bringing you an invention that will revolutionize the way people carry an iPad and a backpack.
and the local woman who thinks she can make a lot of dough selling cakes and pies.
Doing what I like to do, graciously and deliciously.
Will the funders bite on that idea? Find out right now on Dream Funders. I'm Melissa Fraser at the U of L College of Business with the show that matches big money with big ideas. And it's appropriate that our title sponsor for the show is Papa John's because John Schneider, as you know, started his worldwide business success story right here. And tonight, we're hoping to help launch another startup to success with the help of our panel of funders. So it looks a little different. It's much more red and black. Thank you, University of Louisville, and thank you, Papa John's. I mean, it was really incredible. I didn't know we were going to do a season 2. You know, we had no idea, but we had this pilot, and we went out and we started talking to people in the community, and they said, yeah, we want to be a part of that. And so now UPS is sponsoring us, and Papa John's is our title sponsor. It's now filmed at the University of Louisville, and we've added things like this. There's a post-pitch analysis now, so after people come in and do their pitch, you know, whether they get funded or not, we cut away to Van Klaus, and we cut away to Suzanne Burgemeister, and they say what went well, what went wrong, and it's really become very educational. It's interesting because we just aired, the second season just started airing last Wednesday night, and Professor Van Klaus told us in a meeting just the other day that this man from Lebanon Junction tracked, I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but he tracked him down and he said, hey, you know, I think maybe you can help me. I'm an inventor. I've got all these inventions, and would you be willing to meet with me? And I mean, this is some guy in Lebanon Junction. I mean, people are watching it, and it is really inspiring people to do things. And if you, that very first clip that at the end the lady said, thank you God, that was Jennifer Nally, and she came on first season. And this was so interesting because she was just looking to do something, and she told me this. I did a Mentoring Monday thing at Business First has this Mentoring Monday thing, and it was a slow week because it was spring break, so they asked me to be one of the mentors. So I was really honored, but you know, normally that doesn't happen. But she's standing in my line, Jennifer is, and Jennifer had already done the show, she'd already got funded, and I was like, Jennifer, what are you doing? Why are you here standing in my line to talk to me? And she said, I just want to tell you this. She said, I Googled women in business, and I found your book, and I read it, because I haven't marketed this book. Nobody really knows this book exists. I just did it and put it out there. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it yet. And she found it, she read it, she started her business. Then she comes on this show, Dream Funder. She has no idea that I had anything to do with it. And she walks on the set and she sees me standing there behind my little pod. And then she got funded. And I remember thinking that night, she's doing cakes out of her house, she's not getting funded. This lady is not getting funded. And she was one of the only ones that got funded, and her business is doing really, really well, and it's really changed her life. So it's just so much fun to be able to tell stories like that and do things like that. But anyway, so it's become more educational, and it is reaching people, and it's inspiring Louisville to dream. So that's really the primary purpose of it. And how do you get involved? You know, we are going to cycle in new funders. We need to do that because a lot of the businesses that are coming on are startups. Now that's not the goal. We want to, as this builds more and more credibility, we would like to get more advanced stage businesses on there. I mean, one of the things I found out when that first press release went out is that there is money in Louisville, and people in Louisville want to invest in this community. They can't find the businesses to invest in. So we want to keep getting more, you know, hire more advanced businesses on the show. But right now, these investors have been such good sports about it, and they're going to run out of probably time before they run out of money because they're helping a lot of startup businesses. So you can help us if you're interested in being a funder and know someone who would have a great personality and be able to, you know, would be willing to write a check and help some people out. Send them to LouisvilleDreamFunders.com. We're looking for sponsors. We have definitely ratcheted that up. We are almost at break even, which I think is pretty darn good for 1 year. And but there's more production. There's more things that we would like to do to improve the production value of the show. So we definitely are looking for sponsors. And if you are interested in that, you can see me after. And we're also looking for you to spread the word because, as I said, we'd like to get some of those advanced stage businesses on there. And then finally, that's really pretty much what I wanted to tell you about the show, and then I'll just move into this third leg of kind of where I drank the Kool-Aid and why I'm now starting these CEO roundtables. As I mentioned Ingrid's in my masterminds group, and that's part of the group, National Association of Women Business Owners. And I noticed in that, group that I was in, that all of our businesses grew. If you look at the list of the women that are in my group, our group, they are all either in the Fast 50 or they're, Business of the Year or Incredible Awards. I mean, their businesses have grown tremendously. There's so much power in peers. And for those advanced stage companies that want to just take it up to the next level, the CEOs don't really have anywhere to go, to discuss those ideas. So that was really the third piece of this. It was like, okay, let's write the book for startups. Let's do this mid-stage level to get people funding. And now let's get these advanced stage companies in a room together, brainstorming and sharing ideas. So that's kind of what I was here to talk with you guys about, and I appreciate all of your time. I want to encourage you that, again, Louisville, you can get anything done in Louisville. It's really just about having a good plan and connecting with the right people and executing. And, I see a lot of people here, many of you are in different stages of your life, but it's never too late to do something huge in yourself. If you have a dream, it's never too late. This is ridiculous that we were able to get a TV show on the air in 12 months. Think about that, and think about how much life you have left. If you're here, you still have a purpose. There's something for you to do. And I just want to encourage you that you can do anything. It's just write it down, set yourself some goals, and have a good why for what you're doing. And so that's all I have, and I think we're going to open it up for questions now.
Melissa, can you turn me back on? There we go. Thank you so much, and thank you. First, I apologize that you had to compete with the Rockettes next door, and to all of you all, that was not planned today to have such a noisy competitor sound-wise, but you did a great job. You're made for television, so let's open it up for questions.
Great idea. Let's talk about that show. So are the parameters for these people when they're coming to you with their ideas, do you pre-interview them? Is there an amount that they ask for? And then on the other side, who are these guys? Or where are you finding these guys that are doing investors?
Guys and gals.
It's like a little Shark Tank.
Guys and gals.
Yeah, guys and gals.
Yes. Okay. First of all, yes, they go to LouisvilleDreamFunders.com. They fill out it's a very short application. We look at their business, we see where they're at, and then we invite them to come and fill out the full application. This past season, it got better because we actually had what we call an ugly baby, where we had them come and do a dry run in front of us so that we could see what they were actually pitching. That helped me be more interactive in the show because I knew what was coming. And it also helped them get their pitch down clearer. As far as the funders, I gotta tell you, this message, it just resonated with the community. When that first press release went out that we were gonna do this, I had talked with Bill, that we might do a show, I wanted to do a show, and Bill was okay with that. But we had not sat down really with the partner group and said, hey, we're gonna do this. And I'm on a beach, and they put this, I was on vacation, they put the press release out, and my phone started blowing up with investors, with funders, people who wanted to be involved in the show. And they started calling Strokeman Company too, and I was like, dang it, I gotta get because I'm like, what is going on? It was amazing. So really, they have been coming to me. But I would like to get more diversity in our funding panel, frankly, and that's been a struggle. And when I do talk with people about that, they say, yes, we know we need to be represented at the table, but we really just don't have the time. We need that. We need diversity represented there because there are people from every walk of life that should be helping fund other businesses and should be, it's a positive example, for our community that anybody can build a business here.
Back to the back, Craig, and then we'll come to you, Harry.
I'm Craig Sherman. I'd like you to give a commercial plug for your station that's aired on Wednesday. So what, on the cable network, what time and what numbers do I just dial up? Because we're not so smart and we may forget.
That's okay, thank you for asking. So it is on cable channel 916, right, Tom? And 8 p.m. every Wednesday night. A new episode runs at 8 p.m. And I think we're running the Dickens out of them anyway. We're rerunning them, so you can probably look and you'll find it elsewhere. And then it's on channel 21, TV channel 21, which is the ION affiliate. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Harriet, who, by the way, is the proposer for Emily. I wanted to mention that she is the finder for our young professionals.
And talk to her about her pop-up show starting tomorrow. So Harriet Friedlander, I have a question about how you work with existing organizations, particularly the people in the Kaufman Fast Track program and the Venture Club on both ends.
I'm sorry, can you, I didn't understand the question.
How do you interface with two existing organizations, the people in the Kaufman Fast Track program, which gets emerging entrepreneurs up and going, and the people in the Venture Club of Louisville? Those seem to me like both ends that you would work with.
Very, very good question. Thank you so much. The Kaufman, I have not heard of them. This has been a complete educational walk. I think someone mentioned them to us because we meet regularly about who do we need to be connected with? Who are we missing? And I remember hearing that name, but I have not worked with them. We'd love to be connected with them. The Venture Connectors have been unbelievably helpful. I mean, they just really opened the door. And that's another thing about connectivity in this city. I mean, you get one person, the right person, and they can just open the gates for you, for anybody else that you need to know. And they've been incredibly helpful.
Melissa, can you tell us what the smallest investment has been and what the biggest investment has been on the show?
Yes, last season we had several people get funded. Now, let me just say, this is just like Shark Tank in that there's a lot of due diligence that happens on both sides after this whole thing goes down. Because it's like speed dating, and you can't really write a $250,000 check when you've seen someone for 15 minutes, right? And we all understand that. So the smallest funding was $15,000. $15,000. And that did actually go through, and it's going very, very well. And the largest offer was $250,000, and it was for one of the businesses that came on, but they lied about a contract that they had. And so, it didn't go through, and that happened. But there were a couple that were, in the middle.
So with each season, you'll be able to do a Where Are They Now, kind of like Shark Tank.
Yes, that's what we're hoping to do.
Yeah. Well, do you want to tell us about you have a couple books to give away?
Yeah, I'm going to give away 3 books. And honestly, I fully believe I've learned this, that if you give someone something, they don't value it. So, and they'll just sit and collect dust. So I believe that you have to have some action. If you really want something, there should be some action. It's called Welcome to Planet Do. I'm all about the do. So the first 3 people that come down here and ask me for this book can have it. That's it. Okay.
This means like you can come right now and get a book if you want a book. And it's going to show who's the entrepreneurial spirits here. Yes.
And if you're really, really disappointed that you didn't get one, I'll have some more over here and sign up for you. Okay.
Let's give a round of applause to Melissa. She's going to hang out with me up here while we wrap up. So again, this is our last meeting in this of the calendar year. We will be back here January 5th, and we have the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce CEO, Dave Atkinson, who's going to be with us in the Grand Ballroom C, hopefully without the Rockettes. So come to the holiday party, and then we'll see you back here on